So remember when I said I'd make a We Are Not Your Kind review a few weeks after it came out? That didn't age so well, and I did it. But, better late than never, I guess. Now that it's been a while, I guess it's a good time to take a look back and see how well the songs hold up since the hype's died down. Also, these are just my opinions, but if they really do piss you off that much, feel free to write down in the comments how much of a horrible person I am. This has been such a long time, let's just get into it. Before we get into the actual album, I want to talk about All Out Life, because I probably won't get much of a chance to talk about it while I'm reviewing the other albums. For those who don't know, All Out Life is not on We Are Not Your Kind, and I can kind of see why. It doesn't really fit with the atmosphere. But that doesn't really mean it's a bad song, far from it actually. It's a pretty badass song with memorable lines, especially in the chorus, and a lot of them can be pretty inspirational. From the beginning, I kinda knew it'd be a good live song, especially with the breakdown where they get everyone chanting "We Are Not Your Kind." Overall, it's a damn good song, and it's weird to think it's already a year old, and this year it's gonna be 2 years old. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. So as per usual with Slipknot, their first song off the album is always a short introductory piece. As far as they go, this one's alright. Has a quite uncanny and just weird atmosphere, which I guess is a good introduction. How you say the word introduction? Into the album. It has this weird kind of like carnival atmosphere, or a weird retro arcade kind of vibe. The song is only really a minute and a half long, so I don't really have that much to say about it. It's a decent beginning song, but I'm kind of viewing it as its own song rather than as a whole in the context of the album. Probably shouldn't. That's how I'm doing this. So I'm gonna give this like a 5. Yeah, 5. I remember when this song was first released, and quite a lot of people, and I mean like a fair amount of people, did not like this song. I think it's mainly because of the choir at the beginning. That's really the only part that I can get that people didn't like, just because it was something new at the time, you know, something Slipknot's never done before. And it wasn't really as heavy as All Out Life. But I think as time's passed, a lot more people's come to like the song and appreciate it for what it is, rather than in comparison to something else. Especially because of the chorus. I swear to God, it's like the most catchiest chorus Slipknot's ever written. I'll probably still be humming it on my deathbed. Also, the guitar solo, it's nothing special really. I mean, it's not even that much of a solo. I don't know, there's something about it that I just love. It must be the effects or something. It just gives me these weird, like, nostalgic feelings that I don't know why I feel them. I just do. I think this song just has a good blend of the more softer side of Slipknot, the melodic singing, and then also the heaviness. And also I think it's just a pretty good inspirational song. Sometimes when I'm feeling down, I just put this song on, it helps me get through the day sometimes, just feeling like, you know, this feeling won't get me down. It won't beat me. This one gets like a 8. Feel like I might get some hate for this, but honestly, I'm not a big fan of this song. The verses just kind of feel like a slightly heavier Stone Sour kind of sound. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, mind you, but Stone Sour's just not my thing. Not really that big into them. But that doesn't really last too long, and the majority of the song does not sound like that. Most of the song does sound like Slipknot. I do like the chorus, especially the line "Death of the Fool, Birth of the Cruel." I think that's a pretty badass line. And the breakdown is pretty fucking heavy. I honestly feel like the best thing to come out of this is that on their current tour cycle, V-Man has a flamethrower attached to his bass on this one. But overall, I give this song like a 7. I don't hate it, it's just kinda meh. This is better than the next song. Speaking of, I'm gonna be honest here. I really do not like this song. I'm just not a big fan of these short transitional pieces. They don't really do anything for me. I kinda wish there was just an actual song in its place. But maybe I just don't get it. I feel like I'm kind of burning some bridges here. Again, it's really short, so I guess that's the best thing I can say about it. But that also means I don't really have much to say about it. I'm gonna give this a 3. I remember when the list of the song names was revealed. I don't entirely know why, but I remember when I saw Nero Forte, I knew there was something special about this song. So I was looking pretty forward to it, and I was not disappointed. The song is heavy as hell in both sound and in lyrics. Okay, some of the lyrics here are pretty fucking dork. From the beginning you can tell this song's gonna kick your ass. I remember when I first heard the chorus, for some reason I didn't really like it. It was mainly the soft vocals, like with the weird ass effects on them. I wasn't really into it, but as time's gone on, it's grown on me a lot. And my god, the breakdown is heavy as hell. I was thinking it's really fucking smart the way they did the lyrics in the breakdown, how if you kind of read downwards, the very first letter, it kind of ends up spelling something. I thought it was something pretty cool. I'm gonna give this a 9. It's fast as hell, it's relentless, and that's just what Slipknot is known for. And after Nero Forte, we get hit with yet another heavy hitter of a song. You know, I noticed that almost every single heavy song on this album has a catchy chorus in it. There's always a transition whenever it's going between the two. The only kind of drawback to the song I can kind of see is that there's a needlessly long intro and outro. The song's about 6.5 minutes when really it could just be 4. I think it's a good song, but unfortunately it kind of gets overshadowed by the other heavy songs in this album, like Nero Forte. Give it like a 7. When I was first going through the names of the songs, I was not expecting the song to be such a heart crusher. It's just filled with so much raw emotion, from the acoustic guitar playing to the rage-filled screamings from Corey, to the dark lyrics with references to suicide. There just isn't a moment in this song just hitting you with gut-crushing emotions. Especially in the final scream you hear from Corey at the end, it's just heart-crushing to listen to. You just feel so much pain through it. Also, a side note, I've heard a lot of people saying that they think that this song is about Chris, but I highly doubt that. I think the song was written probably a fair bit before Chris was fired, and also it just doesn't sound like it's about a friendship. It sounds more personal than that. It sounds more like it's looking back on a relationship that's killing you rather than a betrayal from a friend. But without a doubt, from me, the song is a perfect 10 out of 10 for me. My favorite type of songs are the ones that can evoke emotions out of you or you can heavily relate to. And I might not be able to relate to it necessarily, but it really does hit me right in the feels. So yeah, just perfect 10 for me. I love this song. So here's another song that makes me break my neck whenever I try to headbang to it. Might not be quite as fast as Nero Forte, but it's still that signature Slipknot heavy. It really does remind me of the Negative one off of the Grey Chapter. In the intro, the way the song builds and builds and builds, I just find phenomenal. Personally, I think this song is Nero Forte, but it's even heavier and faster. Especially in that second verse. While it doesn't have the breakdown that Nero Forte does, I personally think it does everything else better. Except maybe the chorus. This and Nero Forte is definitely the 2 songs I listen to the most off this album. I give this about 9, definitely a 9. I'll be honest, while I was writing the script for this one, I completely forgot this song even existed. Personally, I do think this one's better than Death, because of the way it builds and just feels a lot more creepier. Feels like it works better with the album than Death because of Death. But again, it's another short one, so I don't have much to say about it. I will say this though, I think it's better than Death because of Death. But again, it's just another interlude piece, so I'm not that into it. I'll give this one like a 5. When this song first released, I wasn't that into it, but now that I've had a fair amount of time to make this review, I've listened to the song quite a lot. I remember hearing the piano intro first, and hell is this? This isn't Slipknot. Again, now that I've listened to it a lot, I dig it. You know, it reminds me of the Halloween theme, so that scores bonus points. I feel like almost every instrument in the song gets to shine, from the bass to the drums to to like little layered voices you hear, to even like Sid and Craig. You usually don't hear them that much in songs, but you can hear, if you listen to the little background noises, you can hear it. I just think it all comes together really well. And just like in Unsainted, for some reason, the guitar solo, just whenever I hear it, it just gives me these nostalgic feelings. I really can't point my finger to why. It's just this weird thing. Overall, I think this is my favorite non-heavy Slipknot song, not just off the album, I mean in total off of every album. It's just this song really resonates well with me. Like, this might annoy some people because I know there's probably a fair amount of people out there who don't like this song, but I'm giving this a 9. When I first heard this song, I actually thought, oh, there's another interlude piece, but then the guitar riff kicks in, and I thought, could I have been more wrong? For me, this song kind of feels like a mishmash of other Slipknot songs, like the double kick drumming reminds me of the Heretic Anthem. For some reason, some of the guitar riffs remind me of something off of All Hope Is Gone album, and the breakdown reminds me of The Blister Exists. But unfortunately, this song kind of suffers from the same problem as Critical Darling. Its intro and outro are way too damn long. This and Red Flag are two songs that I'd really love to see them play live sometime. Ultimately, I don't really have too much to say about this song, which is probably for the better, because if I did, this video would be way too long if I went in depth with every single song. So I'm going to give this one like a 8.5, you know, not quite an 8, not quite a 9. I think if the intros and outros weren't too long, then probably be a 9. I think without a doubt this song is probably the most controversial song off the entire album. Personally, I don't really hate it that much as other people, but I can kind of get why people don't like it. You know, it's a weird ass song, but I like the uneasiness of it. It starts off sounding like you're in a dreamscape or some shit, and then it like transforms into this almost like lullaby sounding stuff. You know, the words sound happy, but the lyrics are anything but that. They sound downright evil towards the end of it. But while it's a fairly simple sounding song, it is packed with so much emotion. Not in the same way as Liar's Funeral, but it still has that emotion in there. It definitely sounds like Corey at his lowest moments. Well, I do love emotional songs that can really, you know, pull the feelings out of you. I'm not that into it. I give this one like a 6. So, from probably the most hated song on the album to what I think is the most underrated song. I just love the intro so damn much. I think it's one of Slipknot's best guitar riffs. While definitely not the best, I think it is one of the best. It kind of sounds like this epic music you'd hear for like a movie trailer or something. I think the thing I like about this song the most is it kind of almost tells a story. It has progression to it. It starts off sounding regretful, and then towards the end, it's, you know, I can't think of the word of it, but it's just like, I'm done with this. And also another thing, I mean, this is just me personally, but I think this song has the best lyrics out of every song on the entire album. I mean, some of them are just pure poetry. Overall, I give this song a 9.5. I think it's almost 10 out of 10, but it's not quite there almost. Now for the final track off of the album. While I was writing the script again, I was re-listening to all the songs again. I hadn't listened to this one for quite a while. I always wasn't a big fan of it before, but once I was re-listening to it again, I just kind of got it. While listening to the intro again, I just don't know, something clicked in me, and I just kind of realized that every song Slipknot's ever written has led up to this one. And that suddenly everything just felt right. I don't know how to explain it. It's the perfect final song, I think. And something else I kind of noticed while re-listening to all of this was that Corey's screams are really good on this song. Like, some of the more intense screams sound like they came out of the Iowa era, while some of the more like deeper ones sound like they came out of All Hope Is Gone. And as someone who's gone through depression, this song really struck close to home for me. I just think it's such a great song. I give this song like a 9 out of 10. I mean, if this is the last Slipknot song we ever get, then I'd be fine with that. I think this would be a good song for, you know, a farewell to Slipknot. So, in conclusion, I think this is definitely a great album. It's my third favorite Slipknot album. You know, it's still got that Slipknot style of heavy while also bringing the experimental kind of style that the Subliminal Verses kind of touched upon. And while it does have some tracks I'm not a fan of, the majority of them are great and outshine the bad. Also, this is probably the second most emotional Slipknot album, only second behind the Grey Chapter. Kind of been struggling a little bit with what to rate this album, but I think overall I'm going to give it an 8. You know, if you think that's too high or maybe too low, then you can tell me in the comments. You know, maybe you can give me your own little review, or you can just tell me how much of a piece of shit I am. But now that's done and said, I kind of want to talk a little bit about the Chris Fenn video I made a while back ago. Now, I did not expect it to blow up as much as it did. It took me by surprise. I'm probably not going to make another one like it. You know, I won't say never, but I don't see me making anything else like it in the future. The main reason I made it in the first place was just because, you know, Chris got fired. He was probably one of my favorite members. So I was kind of down about it, and I wanted to do something about it rather than sit on my ass and be sad about it. I didn't expect it to resonate with people as much as it did. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to comment on that a little bit. Like I said, I probably won't do anything else like it. So yeah, that's that. I'll probably make a video on the Grey Chapter. I won't say when I'll make it because I don't know when. Probably within a year's time, hopefully. Probably, maybe a little less. Who knows? Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.